Flosstube friends, it's time for another episode. Hello everybody, welcome back. I am Annie Joyfilled Stitcher, both here on YouTube and over on Instagram. And this is my channel about cross stitch, other crafty endeavors. There's usually some life update thrown in for fun. And it is Flosstube number 113. 13 is my lucky numbers. This is a lucky floss tube for us this Friday, July the 16th. We are halfway through July, which is awesome. And I have some stuff to share with you this week. So not a ton of stitching, but I do have some stitching to share. I have the remainder of my Bridgerton boxes to show the yarn and the flosses that I got. I have a bit of life update, and we have our Angel Kindness card. I don't know if this is going to be a super long video because I don't have a ton to share. So first things first, I want to say thank you so much for joining me for another Fun Friday Flosstube Weekly Update. If you are newly joining me within the last maybe few videos, I appreciate you stopping by, taking a look at my videos, and maybe sticking around for some more, subscribing, all that awesome stuff. If you have watched me for a few videos or over 100 videos, you're my Flosstube friend, and I appreciate you. I appreciate your support of me in this community. This community is awesome. I am pumped to be over 2 years on Flosstube at this point. For those just briefly who do not know me, maybe you're newer to my videos, I am a teacher, elementary school, and specifically for the last 4 years, I've been teaching at a local private school as the learning specialist. Those of you that have been around for a few videos, you know that I am moving to a new position. I have not shared what that position is just yet, but I figured, why not today? We don't have a whole lot to talk about. So I'm super excited to share that I am transitioning to a new position at my school. I am going to be the K-6 technology teacher. So I will be doing technology, basically computer lab, but also bringing in STEAM components, which is science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics into the lab. And so I'm super pumped about that. I will be teaching kindergarten through 6th grade. So I will start with the kindergartners who are coming off of pre-K with iPads, all the way up through 6th graders who will be working through coding and robotics and things like that, and everything in between, including teaching my own child. I did it during the pandemic, but I didn't have a choice. So I think it'll be okay. I only have her 1 day a week. I'm just kidding. I love my kiddo to bits. I have missed her terribly. Those of you that were here last week know that she left on Sunday, we drove her on Sunday to camp for a week, nearly a week. And she has been having an absolute blast. I love that her camp has an app where they update with daily pictures, what their Bible study has been that day, what their big activities are that day. She's able to write me 2 letters during the week. They scan them, so it's her handwriting, and push them through the app, which is awesome. And then I can write her 2 electronic letters back, and it's been awesome. It's been awesome. She said that zip lining has been her favorite, which I'm like, what? Amazing. So I never would have thought in a million years she'd go zip lining, because goodness knows I would not. But when at camp, I did rappel at camp. I did rappelling both the several years I went to camp, and I loved it. But now I look back and go, rappelling? What was I thinking? But anyhow, that being said, tomorrow, my mom and I are getting up at the crack of dawn. Okay, maybe not the crack of dawn, because it's actually after what time I usually wake up. But about 6:30, we are hitting the road to go pick her up. So that will be super exciting. She's going to be in need of a big old scrub down. Yesterday's big nighttime or late afternoon time activity was a literal mud pit. They've had different themes each night. One night was Wrinkle in Time, so they all dressed up as old people, which I think is hysterical. And then they had a silly safari. They had a snow cone truck that came one day. So yeah. And then each night they have what they call club, and they do like singing and dancing and like, but little kids. This is a 2nd grade through 5th grade camp, going into 2nd through 5th. Anyway, I'm super pumped to pick up Joyful Little One at camp to see her. I'm really also pumped because this week we endeavored upon changing her room. She has had a twin size bed in her room. She's 9.5. A twin size bed in her room since she was 2.5. When she transitioned out of her crib. She wasn't climbing out of her crib at that age. She loved her crib, but I was afraid that we were going to push a point where she might, and I didn't want to deal with that transition during the school year. All things related to transitions with my child have always happened in the summer. Potty training, bed, all that jazz. So we ended up pulling her crib down out of the attic because it transitions to a full-size bed. So she's going to come home to a full-size bed with brand new mattress and box spring. It's like super tall. It's like a princess bed. New bedding. We moved some of her decorative stuff around on the walls. Gave her a couple of new prints. One says Bear Hug, one says Panda Squeeze, which if you have heard me speak, she loves animals. She loves bears and pandas and alligators. And so I endeavored upon that this week. Also this week, D-Stash happened. I posted stuff Tuesday, I think this is right. Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday and Wednesday, I think, if I'm correct. And Thursday, maybe? No. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday? Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I posted things, like a ridiculous quantity of stuff on my D-Stash, and there is still stuff left. It's joy.filled.dstash, and it's on Instagram. And then Thursday, did invoicing through PayPal and packed up all but 9 open invoices. So yeah, I feel super productive of that. And that was something I could focus on this week because I didn't feel like I was neglecting Joyful Little One by doing that, and spending a lot of time on that. So, needless to say, I did get some stitching in, but I will tell you, her not being here, it kind of put me in this, like, I don't want to say a funk because it wasn't a negative thing. It was just like I couldn't get my bearings. I had so much that I wanted to accomplish that I could not seem to focus on any one thing. And then I'd get focused on something and I'd work on it wholeheartedly. And then I'd go, oh my gosh, it's past lunchtime. I need to eat. No wonder I'm feeling lightheaded. And then I'd be like, oh my gosh, it's 8 o'clock. Time to take a shower and go to bed. And I wore myself out. The D-Stash wore me out. I mean, that's not a bad thing. You know, moving furniture in and out and all of that. So I did have some stitching, not a ton. And it was a little bit here and there. I did get my 25-minute project, my 25/7 project done each day, but that was about it. So without further ado, we need to have some hugs. On my channel, I started over a year ago giving virtual hugs. If it's not your thing, I totally get it. Feel free to pass on by. Projects are next, so this doesn't take that long. So just bear with those of us who love this tradition, which is a hug on each side and then we hug ourselves. Are we ready? All right, here we go. Let's come in for our hug. One hug on this side. We hug on this side. And then we give ourselves a hug. And we say, and we take a deep breath sometimes just because we need it, because I have for 9 some odd minutes. And I said this wasn't going to be a long one. So let's talk about what I stitched on, okay? So, over the weekend, this project had a birthday. And it is in a crumpled state. This is in an awesome bag that Mandy sent me. She is one of my Flosstube friends who's been around for a super long time, and she is obviously highly talented in the bag making department, that she made me this one that's quilted with joy on it. Oh, another thing. Thank you so much, Rachel, for buying me a couple of fancy flosses. So I haven't mentioned it in a long time because it's just kind of been like not on my forefront of my brain. But I have a link down in the description box that's it's a buy me a coffee link, but I do buy me a fancy floss. And so I wanted to say thank you to Rachel. She shared that she appreciated me sharing about doing the half stitches across to 10, and then you do a solid X for when you're doing borders, straight borders. It's a great way to count. It was not my original idea, but I think it's a fantastic one. And so thank you so much. This is Barbara Anna Designs Santa's Trips. It was a sale that started last summer. I believe you can buy it now on Creative Poppy as a full pattern. So yeah, I worked on this for one day. I am still on the first release, the first part, and I have a bit more stitching to go to finish it. Basically, as far as I know, I filled in the remainder of this white. That was a lot. And then I started putting in some of the stitching in 3371 for the roofs and the windows. So, is it roofs or roofs? Like hoof and hooves? Is it roof or roofs or roofs? I don't know. I'm from Texas, so everything sounds a little interesting sometimes. One thing I will say, and I don't have the whole piece in here, I think I'm going to pick my next 3 favorite blocks, and there are some that have like Santa and Mrs. Claus riding on funny animals like a big pig. And so I think what I'm going to do is pick 3 more, do a 4 square of them, and then do the border and call it done. I don't know that I will, as much as I love this chart, I don't know that I will finish all 9 of them. And if I'm being honest, I should have waited to start it, but I started it when it started. And I would have maybe just done 4 of the animals. It is what it is. So this is going away for right now. I may pull it out before the month is over. I don't know that. Next up, I did work a tiny bit more, I think, since I showed this on Stitchy Stars, which this is Lori Holt for Being My Bonnet. I am stitching 6 of the blocks, specifically 1, 2, then 4, then 7, 6, and 5. So I'm skipping one of them. I'm skipping, I think, 3. And so I just spent some more time filling in. And this is on an 8. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Sorry. This, Santa's Trips, is on 18 count Coffee Club from Be Stitch Me. And I stitched 2 strands of floss over 1 square of the Ada. And I'm using kind of just a palette of colors I pulled from my stash that are similar to the charted DMC. For this one, this is on an 18 count... 18 count something. 18 count, I think it's a mystery. I think it was from a Color and Cotton grab bag. It's either that or is from Swiss Coffee. I'm not sure. I've not been great about putting those things in. And I'm doing a full Color and Cotton / Classic Colorworks conversion. So I've got Color and Cotton, and then my one Classic Colorworks is Bamboo. Bamboo. Oh, I am telling an absolute fib. Let me just tell you what my colors are. Classic Colorworks Bamboo. This is Color and Cotton Mediterranean. Then we've got Color and Cotton Bing Cherry and Dark Indigo. Dark Indigo is the outside border and some of the detailing inside. And then for my pink, I'm using Forbidden Fiber Co's Coral. So that is all she wrote on that for this week. I do like having this one around. It's great. I don't want to say mindless, but like where I am right now, it kind of is. Because I'm kind of just doing some fill-in. All right, next step, I did pull out my Sea Dandelion. This is a Barbara Anna Designs. Those of you who have not been around for very long, I will enlighten those who... Okay, Those of you that have not been around for a while, I love Barbara Anna. End of story. And I have like all of her punch needle primitive stitcher ones I want to stitch. But when I saw this one in the summer issue from this year, so it's the summer 2021 issue of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher. This is Sea Dandelion. I knew I had to stitch it. Like 100% must be started immediately. And I am stitching this on 16 count chalkboard, Ada from Witchelt. And I did some color swapping. What I mean by that is there's a lot of kind of color changes in her hair and stuff, but I had some really cool variegated ones. And so I changed those up. I also changed her, she kind of had this like peachy orangey skin tone. I made her pink. So she is like DMC 225 and then her cheeks are 760 and her eyebrows, nose, and mouth are 3712. I want her to be pink. Why not? She's got turquoise hair. She's going to have like a turquoise little bralette and then a little tail. And why not make her? And the crab's a little pink too. Because that was what it was, that he was charted in the same as her eyebrows and her nose and mouth and belly button. So yeah, why not? So anyway, and I've got some other really cool colors I'm going to work with coming soon. Like I've got these really neat orchidy kind of lilac, interesting colors from Color and Cotton. And then these are my two that I used for her hair and will be for her tail. So this is Belize and this is Caribbean. So yeah, more on Color and Cotton to come because it has now slowly but surely become my absolute favorite thing to work with. It has always been since I discovered it, but now even more so, like even more so. It's my absolute favorite. All right, so then I did make one of my Whip Go goals, which is on Lindy Stitches. This is Poor and Needy. And my goal for Whip Go on this was 7 days, and I've done my 7 days. It actually has a birthday in either September or October. And so when I get to that point, it will actually go beyond 7 days. But I've made my Whip Go goal. Whip Go is a fantastic idea that Jessie Marie of Jessie Marie Does Stuff came up with. It is not too late to join. You can join at any point. You could join 2 weeks before the end of the year. I love it. She's doing even more this year, even with Precious Little Baby Does Stuff around. I'm blown away. Blown away. My hair also looks a bit blown away. And I forgot to tell you I'm using 2 strands over 1 square of Ada. With what she has accomplished this year. She finished. I know this is old news, but she finished in this moment. Like, we're going to clap for that because I have been watching that progress. I'm all for it. Let me also clap for my friend Michelle Bindi Stitchy for all of her amazing finishes. Like I'm loving the finishes for myself and for others. I feel like 2021, we're taking control of lots of things. I'm taking control of my whips, taking control of my spending. And so, yeah. Applause to you if you've had some amazing things going on. Now back to projects. So I am working this on a mystery cut, I believe. Yeah, a mystery 16 count Ada from Be Stitch Me. I'll show you my colors in just a minute. 2 strands over 1 square, and I worked some more in the lettering, and then I did the key. So I love how the lettering looks with every now and again these kind of more gray, like it looks vintage. It looks like ancient. It looks like an old piece of tapestry. So yeah, and then you've got the thistles along the side. So my colors for this, oops, I'm gonna lose my card, are, seeing a theme, Color and Cotton Winter Sea, that is the main blue lettering. Color and Cotton Nickel, that was what the key was stitched in. These both are a Color and Cotton Mystery Grab Bag. This is the gray that's in the letters, that's the alternating color. Victoria Motto Quilt Pink is my pink. This is a mystery grab bag from Color and Cotton. It's just a really nice forest green. And then Victorian Motto Olive Orchard. I will say that now typically if you get a grab bag of flosses from Color and Cotton, at least in the last couple of times I've gotten one, they're labeled. In the past, when we were on the craft tags, they were just blank. Occasionally you'd get one with the label, but not very rare, but it was very rare. And so I just kind of like labeled them in my spreadsheet. Mystery 8, forest green, or whatever. So unfortunately, this is not one that's going to be easy for anybody to convert. I'm trying to be more aware of that because I do have people reaching out to me saying, hey, what colors did you use for this again? So I'm trying to be thoughtful of that. But I will say that with using the Mystical Diamond Arts, some of those may be limited, some may not be. Typically with my Forbidden Fiber Co., unless it's part of a box, like the Bridgerton ones, I think they're available stock or will be available stock. So there's that. All right, last up, this is my 25/7. That's Julie McConnell came up with that idea. I heard about it from Michelle. Quite a number of other people have jumped on with the 25/7. Basically, it's pick a project, work on it every day for 25 minutes or 25 stitches. I'm doing 25 minutes. Last month, I did Ink Circles Rosetta. This month, I am doing 12 Days of Christmas by Satsuma Street. I am stitching them as ornaments. This chart also came with it all as one with a neat border. I chose to do them like the ornament style. So let me show you what I've done since the last time we looked at this. So I got to a point, so I worked on this, the third French hen. I worked on this in the car coming back from dropping off the little one at camp. And I got to a point where I had outlined this orange. I realized I didn't bring scissors. My husband said, I have a razor blade in my tool bag in the back seat if you want to get it. I'm like, no, I don't want to bleed on my cross stitch or have to like stop in the middle of nowhere because I've cut myself with a razor blade. So I got to a point where I kind of outlined, and I literally think I have to look at the chart for 2 more stitches. I could easily finish this up. However, August 1st, we're going to be on an airplane, and this is some really good airplane fill-in because that's all I need to do is fill in this with the orangey red color to finish the French hen. So since I was to a stopping point on this one, I pulled out another one. I pulled a number 4, which is 4 Calling Birds. And so in the car, I did my every 10th stitch crossover. And what I did was when I got to the end of a strand, I went as long as I possibly could, and then I tucked it under, and then I just tried to not get it in the way of other stitches so that I just could keep going. The problem with this one was I didn't have any more strands of this, so I had no way to cut any more off my skein or my bobbin. I can't remember what way I have this color done. So that was why I was stopped there. This red, so the red is also in the designs, but it calls for a very large quantity. So all of my borders are in a Victorian motto that converts to the same DMC number. So anyway, those are already pre-cut. So I was able to just do all that. And then I think I put it away at that point because we're getting close to like city limits. So this week I've worked on, pardon me, the bird cage, which I love. So there's going to be 4 birds in there, some musical notes. There's some little floral details that go up here. I love working on these. I love them. It makes me appreciate more and more how almost like methodical and soothing stitching on Satsuma Streets are. It makes me also want to pull back out Libra. Big time. So plans, obviously more 12 days Satsuma. That's going to come out more. I want to do some more in Sea Dandelion. I want to see some more colors come out. And Stitchy Stars. I have some projects coming up with birthdays because I started them last year about this time. I don't remember off the top of my head what they are. And I really need to focus this week on my Frida Kahlo piece for the little one's friend's birthday. I think once she's back and the laundry's all done and we are back in our groove, we're going to be good. She's supposed to have a day camp this next week. It's the one I wanted her to attend, which is really cool because it's like life skills. It's learning how to balance a checkbook, learning how to fold clothes, learning how to fold a fitted sheet. I may need to go on that day because I know the Martha Stewart way, but it doesn't always work. Making pancakes. Like, they go through all kinds of stuff. Basic, like, stuff. And I think it's awesome. And so she has that going on. We'll see how she feels after coming back from camp. So, it's joy-filled stashy stash time. It's joy-filled stashy stash time. So what I'm going to do is I want to show you the remainder of my Bridgerton yarns from Fangirl Fibers. So this one is from July 12th. I'm not going to actually tell you the dates because I'm going to get a little short on time here. Look at this one. If that one is not like Penelope Featherington right there, yes. Look at this one. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I love that one. I love the cream base on that with the bright colors. Let's see what else we got. Oh, I love this one too. Look at that. Oh my gosh. So good. So, so good. Two more. Because remember, I didn't finish showing these last week. Green and white. So pretty. That looks like a dress that Mrs. Featherington wore. And then a pretty blue. But there's still pops of other colors in there. Now, let me show you my flosses that I got. There's actually only a few of these that were left. Because this one only has like 11 days. So, this is Lady Whistledown. Which is a beautiful variegated purple. Love it. Then we have, this is Melodramatic. I feel like I need to say that in a melodramatic way. And then we've got Tenacity, which is a great skin tone for some of the folks of Bridgerton series. And then we have The Duke, which is dark and broody. Oh, it's so gorgeous. This was a pre-order stitchy box from, or stitch box from Forbidden Fiber Co., which is awesome. So, love that. Last thing I need to show is I rejoined the Color and Cotton Floss of the Month. So, I am doing 5 primitive skeins and 5 brights. Last time I did it, it was all colors. I really like the variation. So, and now they say special edition. So, this is Crimson, Nectarine. I'm going to have to look again because I had looked to see what are these because it's so pretty. Raincoat, Macaw, and Azure. Azure. So, Crimson, Nectarine, Raincoat, which is the Morton Salt Girl Raincoat kind of color. Macaw, which is gorgeous. This would make a beautiful palette for something. And then Azure. And then in this one, we have Pumpkin Vines. Then we have, this is Cherrywood, Dolphin. Let me start in order. Dolphin, Moonlight, Cherrywood, Sepia, and Pumpkin Vines. Dolphin, Moonlight, Cherrywood, Sepia, which is beautiful, and Pumpkin Vines. Those are gorgeous. Angela knocks it out of the park. I love also how she puts them in the packs with the what month they came from and what club. So there's like no denying this is Brights. This is your Prims. So anywho, I'm excited to be back in that club. I did go ahead and take a break from Sulky. I've run out of room to store my spools, and I have so many great colors. So I'm going to take a break from that for a little bit, use up some of my stash of that. So really my floss clubs right now are the Color and Cotton and the Forbidden Fiber Co., which I'm obsessed with both. And then I should be here in the next 2 months, maybe, month or two. I should start getting my rep package from Mystical Diamond Dart. So stay tuned on that. Yeah. So last thing we do before I bid you so long farewell is Angel Kindness cards. These are from Teresa Kogut. I highly recommend them. You can get them several places. Usually her Etsy shop has some. Kitten Stitcher has had them before. They're fantastic. And I love this one. This one reminds me a lot of the wistful look that my daughter gets. And I love these cute little, just simple flowers. But yet if I tried to draw and color those, they wouldn't look anything like that. That's because Teresa Kogut's the artist and I am not. And I'm okay with that. So this says, lifting the spirits of others will do the same for you. Compliment others. Put their insecurities to rest. Remind them they are worthy of love and respect. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of respect. And that just seemed so poignant. There seems to be so much just sadness and ill will going on right now. And I just love the sentiment on that one. Plus, I love the artwork. So since I'm now going through them again, I almost feel like at this point, some of the ones that I love, I'm going to start putting up on my bulletin board right here. That's what I think I'm going to do. So we can see them and be reminded of how awesome they are. So I think that's about it. This weekend, like I said, Saturday's kind of a wash because picking her up, we have about a 2.5 hour drive there, a 2.5 hour drive back, and then laundry, which I'm tempted to take it to our laundromat that does bundle service, and we've used them before, and get them to do it all. It's kind of what I'm thinking. It might be nice. We'll see. And then getting everything that was not worn put away, getting her trunk put away, like all of that good stuff, and just getting kind of reset back into our lifestyle, getting reset back into real life. So with that, I will say, I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. I'm super, super excited that we still have quite a number of weeks left of summer. I know some of you are starting to prepare to kind of look at back to school already. We are 2 weeks behind where we normally would be. Typically, I wouldn't be traveling the 1st of August because I'd need to be back at work. But because of stuff at school, we are pushed back 2 weeks, which is great. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me for another video. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. Love yourself. Know that you are worthy of love and respect. Until I see you next Friday and I can pump you up some more. And with that, I will say, /sing. So long, stitch well. I'll see you soon, my friends. Goodbye. Goodbye, and I'll see you next Friday.